There was a book called Light on Masonry that was published in the late 1800s where all this stuff came out. It was actually the mid-1800s. And that book listed all of what people hear in Masonry all the way up to 33rd degree. When you get up to 30th and 31st degree, they say that the goal of their organization is to crush the head of the serpent of religion. Now, granted, organized religion has caused a lot of problems, but what they really mean is not that all religion should be excluded. It's that they want to make it so only their religion exists on earth, and if you don't follow their religion, you will be killed. So what they've been doing is they've been giving us their religion. They show it to us in, for example, the most recent Olympics opening and closing ceremonies was loaded with Cabal symbolism. They do it at the Grammys. They do it at the Super Bowl halftime show. They go out there in music videos and movies and video games and television shows, and they're showing us Luciferian symbolism. The reason why they're doing this is that they want us to become entranced by the idea of this religion, to have it be cool, to have it be trendy. So one of the things they do is this symbol, which is 666. Each finger is one of the stems of the 6. So you'll see people do stuff like this. You'll also see them put their finger over their eye like this. That's the all-seeing eye. Or they'll do this a lot. You'll have this kind of symbolism. So they're out there putting out these sigils and signs and codes and symbols, and they do it through things like pop music. So people start watching what's ever popular, and they're seeing flames, and they're seeing people dancing around in Baphomet horns, and they're seeing all this really strange stuff. Their goal, again, is to acquaint us with their religion so that if they get their goal realized, which is to create a massive world economic collapse, greatly reduce population, and then come out as our liberators, giving us this technology, giving us what they consider to be freedom, we would actually be trading our sovereignty for a much greater level of tyranny. Thankfully, people such as the Russians, as I said, since the 1700s, have been aware that this plan was in place and they have been actively working to stop it. That effort is now so organized and so vast that there is no chance that the Cabal has to pull through this. They cannot realize their goals. They are being defeated, and I have meticulously traced on my show, Wisdom Teachings on Gaia, so many examples of how they're doing this. I've also written many, many articles, insiders from the Alliance talking about what's going on, revealing this knowledge to us. So there is going to be some sort of a major event, a mass arrest, and once that happens, they have 26 DVDs worth of information of shows that will be airing on all the cable channels that will be actually featuring, in many cases, surprisingly high-ranking public figures that we all know who have done this covertly. Some of them will be military political leaders. And they will be on these films telling us all this kind of stuff that I'm telling you right now. And it's going to be a massive awakening, but it appears that this will be very positive because we will be coming into a reality in which the arrests have taken place. And the Alliance has done some very high-level telegraphing of their move. To wit, check out the movie Iron Man 3. In Iron Man 3, Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Iron Man, does what? He finds out that the Bin Laden character, played by Ben Kingsley, is actually being hired as an actor. And he's working on a green screen. And the Vice President of the United States of America, who looks surprisingly like Dick Cheney, and the President in that movie looks surprisingly like George W. Bush, he is frog-marched out of the White House in handcuffs at the end of the movie for financing this fake terrorist. Now that movie, Iron Man 3, was the biggest movie of the year when it came out. Then we have the movie Captain America the Winter Soldier, which comes out the year later, and again is like the #1 movie of the year, other than Hunger Games. And in that movie, the whole entire thing is essentially a documentary that's true about the Alliance and the work that they are doing to defeat a cabal that wants to kill many, many people. In the movie, the cabal has these flying aircraft carriers that are going to shoot holes in everybody with lasers through the medulla and kill you. And those people are stopped. And at the end of the movie, there is this big trial in which some of the people from this organization that defeated S.H.I.E.L.D., which really is supposed to be the NSA, are on trial. And they say, look, We're the best that the Earth had. We needed to step up and solve this problem. So in that Captain America movie, S.H.I.E.L.D. becomes like the NSA. Even though in the previous movies it was good, halfway through that movie, Captain America, you have a whole little documentary inside the movie wherein Captain America and Scarlett Johansson's character walk into this German base in which an intelligent computer tells them about Project Paperclip, that Nazi scientists were brought over here after World War II to America and were embedded into our society. Those scientists actually ended up taking over the military-industrial complex. They act as if it's still America, when in fact they are pursuing their agenda. And that is what S.H.I.E.L.D. turns out to be in this movie. Now, this is a major mainstream film that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make. And my point in expressing this is, if you want to know what the Alliance is up to, they've already showed you. They've done it in very large movies. They're telling us the truth, and it does appear to be building up to some sort of event. And once that event happens, films like this are going to be taken far more seriously by far more people, because whoever was talking about this before it actually happened is now going to be validated, and we're going to see that they were telling the truth.
How do you know the good guys from the bad guys? So when Beyonce is doing her symbol, like how do we know if she's mimicking it or supporting it, or like it must be? It's very confusing for people. Do you have any suggestions?
I would encourage everyone to not blame the musicians who are displaying these cabal symbols, and I want to bring out one example. The female artist 𝐫𝐥𝐸, I'll just go with 𝐞𝐱. The female artist 𝐞𝐱 put out a video called Die Young, where she is dancing in front of a pentagram and singing about that her goal is to party so that if she parties hard enough, she'll die young. And she was quoted in the media as saying that she brushes her teeth with Jack Daniels. Okay, so it seems that this is what she wants to do. This is the video that she wants to make. So 𝐞𝐱 has the video Die Young out there in the public where she's dancing in front of a pentagram, which appears to be what she wants. It's her video, right? That's what we're trained to think. And then we get the Sandy Hook school shootings in which little children have had their brains blown out by gunmen. She gets so distraught, and they end up actually pulling her video and her music off of the airwaves because of the tragedy of Sandy Hook. And she's singing about children dying young. She gets this overwhelming amount of comments. Every single article you see about her when this happened after Sandy Hook, Illuminati bitch, just like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. She must have been bombarded with people saying to her that she was a satanic Illuminati Luciferian sellout. So she comes forward in a public statement not too long after the Sandy Hook shootings and says that she was forced to do those songs, to sing those lyrics, and to perform in that video. She was not the one who wanted to dance in front of a pentagram. She was not the one who wanted to write the lyrics, I want to die young. She was told what to write. And then, this is the really important part, she comes out later on and said that she was raped by her producer, this man named Dr. Luke. Now, Dr. Luke has been a producer who has actually, in many cases, written the music for the vast majority of the most popular female pop stars in today's world. That's why all the music sounds alike. It's written and produced by the same people, so they have the same style, so yes, it all sounds alike. And there's not even that much variance in the vocals because they're using auto-tune to make everybody be bang on pitch. What happens is that 𝐞𝐱 ultimately files a lawsuit against Dr. Luke and says, and also against Sony, saying that nothing was done to stop her from being raped and that she wants to be free of her recording contract so that she can record independently as an artist. The case is thrown out of court. She loses. Sony wins. She's not allowed to get out of her record contract, and this happens right before very significant video music awards that take place. Then what happens? You have some of the people who would normally be associated as Illuminati pop stars, Luciferian pop stars, like Katy Perry, like Taylor Swift, like Rihanna, like Lady Gaga, who all come out. Taylor Swift gives her, I believe, $250,000. Adele, in her award speech, speaks out in support of Kesha.
Stay tuned for part 2 of this. Make sure you like and subscribe and share the video. More to come.
Sempre me liga mais de 11 da noite. Acho melhor não ter. Isso se repete tipo um ciclo vicioso. Ela quer vir pra minhas áreas de novo. Sempre me liga mais de 11 da noite. Acho melhor não ter. Isso se repete tipo um ciclo vicioso. Pior que ela ganha.